Hey everybody, Multi-Classic Gamer here. Welcome back to more Metroid Prime Trilogy. In the last episode, we basically infiltrate a space pirate base of some sort here on planet Aether. And our next goal is this room in particular right here, and we're just about there. We got one little schmidget to go through real quick. But yeah, otherwise we got some great stuff ahead of us today. These weird enemies right here, well, these weird bugs, they just... Not sure what they're there for. Maybe just for some sort of, I don't know, ambient effect or some sort. I don't know. But this room right here, we can't really do much in here quite yet. This will be more relevant later. Not quite as relevant as breaking glass, because we can do that sort of thing. Oh, that's weird. Why would you put something here that's, I mean, like it's on a half pipe, so you think it'd be something you want to destroy? Whatever. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, that didn't take very long. Okay, so as we enter this room, something is kind of off. The atmosphere is very eerie. And, well, if you look through the glass real quick, yep. That's a doppelganger of ours who's been following for quite a bit is definitely in here. And it looks like they have nowhere else to go. I mean, they're kind of down a pit, so... Yep, time for the confrontation, I guess. I know you, you're my doppelganger. You're the next boss, aren't you? Yep. Yes, I am. I'm the boss. Okay, so take us through a day in the life of the boss. Well, the first thing I do is destroy my fucking doppelganger like a boss. Okay. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so this is Dark Samus. Yes, first of all, make sure to scan her, because she's a boss. Well, she's an enemy in general, so scan them. That's our logic, of course. Dark Samus, phase-on-powered entity. Powerful distance attacks. Phase-on energy shield repels all weapons. Wait until it is down to attack. Avoid close contact with targets. That's all there is to it. So basically, most of her attacks are phase-on based. She'll just shoot phase-on at you. That's her main attack. You know, it's phase-on suit, phase-on beam, you know, all that good stuff. You can usually hide behind these pillars in the room to avoid the phase-on attacks, so... And one thing she'll often do is after a charge shot or after just a move in general, she will kind of jump out of your auto aim, so watch out for that too. Now generally she'll use that shield whenever, that force field whenever you try to use attack with missiles. So generally it's recommended not to use missiles in this battle, but you can still, it's still possible to get missiles in at some point. I'm not exactly sure what the trick is for that. But just want to say it's very possible to use missiles against her. It's just not very easy. Okay, so once you get half her energy down, she's going to start emitting this aura of sorts. And when that happens, you better watch out whenever she jumps up like this, because shit gets real. Yeah, pretty nasty. Oh, dang it. I tried to do a well-timed missile there. Now, with these charge shots, will go straight to these pillars, so you can't hide behind them at this point. You just gotta, jump out of the way when that happens. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to stick with the charge shot, because those are doing just fine anyways. It's not like this battle's that difficult or takes a lot of damage or anything. Oh god. But by the end of the battle, generally, all four of these pillars are destroyed. I remember in the blind LP, I was expecting this to be a lot more difficult than it turned out to be. Well, Doppelganger is defeated. I'm sure we'll never see her again. I mean, come on, that was a pretty somber death scene we just saw there. There's no way she could recover from that. She exploded into particles. And as we know, 1,000,000 particles take a long time to put back together. Especially if they just kind of disappear, because that's kind of what they're doing. Well, I'm sure they will. Alright, so yeah, now this room is, well, this is actually a chance to scan the phase-on, because that's actually a entry of its own. And apparently it's the last one of Dark Aether. Alright, Phazon. Volatile ore with biomutagenic properties. Origin point of Phazon unknown. First detection of elements on planet Talon 4. Used by space pirates to produce vast levels of energy. Yep. So yeah, it's the same substance we saw in Metroid Prime 1 making its return because it's kind of the theme of this particular trilogy. It's kind of one of the main substances that drives stuff and whatnot. Now, isn't there... Okay, there is a key bearer in this room that you have to scan, but, you know, one of those dead Luminoth that actually have lore entries? Those are the key bearers, and there's one of them in this room, but I don't think you can access them quite yet. Well, maybe. I could have sworn maybe it's possible to, but maybe just not supposed to be able to, because they're up there. So, I don't know. You can scan this, but yeah, this is that magnetic rail system we don't have access to yet. Okay, it should be pretty obvious it's Spireball tracks, okay? If you've been following along with this LP, then you saw Spireball tracks in the first games, and these are pretty much the same. I mean, they have a slight redesign, but they're basically the same thing, rail system. So yeah, obviously Spireball is going to be in this game. If this was its own LP, like just Metroid Prime 2 alone, then yeah, I'd have to be kind of ambiguous about that. But what I don't have to be ambiguous about so much is this. This is our first of the alternate beams that we'll be using throughout this game. And this kind of continues the theme of dark and light elements, essentially. Or light and dark, however you want to phrase it. Because I don't freaking care. This is the dark beam. It's plus some, yep. It's obviously the same way to switch beams in the trilogy, which I never really explained, actually. I never really did. I just kind of been doing it, but really haven't explained it, so I'm sure somebody in the audience might not possibly know, but in it, you know, despite how simple it is. But basically, you hold plus, and then it brings up your beam menu, and then you can just point to whatever beam you want to select. Or you can just simply, if I happen to be using an alternate beam and just want to switch straight to the normal beam, or whatever it's called, or yeah, the power beam, just press plus, and you'll automatically switch back to it. But otherwise, yeah, we want to switch to dark beam, so we're just going to select it in the menu. Oh, we got Space Pirate lore entry here. I could have sworn there's one more, but maybe we got all of them? I'm not sure. Actually, no, we're missing one more. I know where it is, too. Okay. The local war has escalated intensity. The Shadowlings from Dark Aether have launched an offensive. The assault seems focused on a central network of buildings atop a mountain. A base, perhaps. Strangely, this attack coincides with the rise in planetary instability. Perhaps these shadow creatures are using a new weapon system. The Shadowlings must believe us to be foes, for they have hit our base numbers numerous times as well. We are holding, but attrition? What is that word, attrition? Is taking its toll on our troops and resources. Reinforcements are en route. We can only wait and defend what is ours. I'll have to look up that word, so don't bother telling me in the comments, because I'm going to look it up anyways. So yes, so as we fire... So yeah, this also brings up the point that the Dark Beam is the first instance of beam ammo. Yes, it has limited ammo, unlike our normal beam, so you have to keep that in mind. And also, we're going to start to see these crystals, or... Yeah, I think we saw crystals back in Dark Aether, obviously, with the light crystals, or whatever they call to create safe zones. These are completely different. These crystals, as you can see, it's white right now. If I hit it with the Dark Beam, it changes to a dark crystal, and it has a different effect than what's, or it may not have a different effect, but it'll basically have the opposites. It'll do something different than what it would do if it was light. In that case, it was in the closed position, but if I hit it with the Dark Beam, it becomes a dark crystal and thus switches to the opposition. So you'll see a lot of stuff like that too throughout this game. Now they're going through here. We got another Space Pirate log. Okay, I thought there was only one left. I was way off. Okay, Federation attack. Another disaster. The transport bringing our reinforcements and supplies has been shot down. It was engaged in orbit by a Federation vessel, which has landed near the alien temple. It's only a matter of time before the Marines attack. Survivors from our ship have made their way to our base. Oh, from our ship have made their way to... Yeah, okay. Here we shall blank our stand. Another enemy, first the Shadowlings, then the Dark Hunter, and now the Galactic Federation Marine Corps. Perhaps fate will smile upon us before the world itself opens its maw and swallows us. Yeah, keep thinking that. Out of the 3 games, the Space Pirates definitely are just kind of there in terms of this game. They don't really do that much, honestly. They're just kind of there, you know, trying to stand in our way of our mission. And not only that, but also they got some new reinforcements here. These are Pirate Grenadier. Grenader? Okay, I'm not even sure of that word either. Space Pirate specializes in grenade combat. Powerful grenade launcher makes this enemy dangerous at range. Minimal close combat ability. But this also brings up how useful the Dark Beam is. Basically, it's this game's version of the Ice Beam. On top of the fact that it looks like the Ice Beam, sort of, like in terms of like the shape of the beam and whatnot. Yeah, it's basically this game's version of the Ice Beam. But in that particular case, the enemy's weak enough that it just destroy them immediately, which avoid with the Ice Beam. But yeah, normally whenever you have attack a more powerful enemy with the Dark Beam, it'll actually, with a charged Dark Beam I should say, it'll freeze them. But be careful because the charged shot from the Dark Beam costs 5 ammunition, so just be aware of that. And now that we're activating this, let's go ahead and scan it because I forgot to back in the portal room. But yes, we are about to enter Dark Aether again for the second time. Or third time total technically. But this time, we've got 2 more keys to get on this side of Dark Agon Wastes. So that's basically our mission here. But also there's going to be something else special we're going to be getting. And it should be obvious considering the last beam we got, since we just got a Dark Beam. So yeah, and I've been very consistently clear about the themes of this game. Of dark and light going against each other. Okay, so another new enemy. This is a Dark Preed. Dark Preed, Darkling possessed gas-filled cyborg. Darkling enhances target's durability. Destruction of outer body will release a highly toxic cloud. Like so. Yep, purple gas. Not good stuff. I just want you to actually pay attention to the fact that these are living things, by the way, these storage caches, whatever they're called. Yeah, and we're just killing them. But is that really any worse? Like, is us putting them out of their misery like any worse than the Ing just using them just for storage? Like, you exist with one purpose, just storing stuff for the person that is trying to stop us. It's weird, you know. Okay, so with the Dark Beam, you're probably wondering what it does if we shoot a beacon or a crystal with it. Well, this will happen. Basically, it will nullify it, essentially. Nullify beacon. Protective field of light energy deactivated. Light beacons, when covered with dark energy, cease to function for a brief time. Light energy can clear the beacon of the dark energy. Or just simply shooting it with the normal beam also works. Just do this. And there you go, that'll also fix it. So yeah, obviously we can do the same thing with the regular light crystal as well. There happens to be one actually already over there, so we'll just go ahead and scan it like so. So we don't have to actually, you know, nullify it ourselves, it's just there. But just like with the beacons, you can also fix a nullified crystal with just a few shots from your power beam. Okay, no, we also got this breakable thing right here, which is covering a crystal. And these are also log entries too. Light lift crystal. Simply put, if we hit it with a dark energy, we can switch the position of said lift crystal. So that lowers the position. Now, if we could hit with a light energy, then we could activate the effect or bring this platform back up. That's how it works. Okay, I'm pretty sure I made that stuff clear. Now let's go ahead and get the second Dark Agon key. We're also watching out for these Dark Preeds above us because they do spawn from the ceiling. Watch out for them. All right, here we go. Just one more key left. And we can't get to it quite yet. I mean, it looks like we can, but at the end of this, okay, because we saw in Light Ether, this leads to a tunnel which leads us back to the second half of, well, sort of the, whoopsie. I don't want to do that. That's bad. Leads to the second half of Agon, the first half of Agon Wastes, which we've been to before, and also in Dark Aether, but we can't actually get further beyond the room that's ahead of us. But the thing is, this room is blocked by a light door, which we can't access quite yet. So we need to, first of all, get rid of these stupid dark splinters. But yeah, so we can't, so we'll hit dead end if we keep on going this way. So we need to head back. And we'll have to find another way to get through there. But we have to go there eventually because that's where the third key is to access the Dark Agon Waste Temple. Really nice if we get some more energy from these ink cache things. Sorry for destroying you, but it's your ink masters that are at fault here for just making you you know, designed just for that one specific purpose. Okay, so now we're gonna head through the start exploring the second half of Dark Agon Wastes here, and that'll lead us to our thing that we need in order to get to the third key. What are you doing? You are acting very strange, my friends. Oh God, this room right here. This room is very dangerous if you don't watch out for these. That's the issue. So be very careful when using your explosives of any kinds. Dark missiles, anything. Oh, by the way, this is a good time to bring up this point. Dark ammunition is actually effective even against Ing. That's right. They can still get hurt by it as well, even though despite the fact that they are dark creatures themselves, so the dark... You would think... I just automatically assumed, you know, in the blind Let's Play, that dark ammunition would do nothing, you know, helpful against dark enemies. It would, if anything, probably even potentially heal them. But no, it actually hurts them. I don't know why. I don't know how that works, but it just does. Just jumping out. Okay, so now once you get down to less than 5 ammunition, you can no longer do charge shots. You can only do single shots. And then when you run out, you might think to yourself, okay, what if I'm trapped in a room that's surrounded by dark doors? You know, that's the only way out. Well, here's the thing. Even though you are out of ammunition, you can still do a charge shot, although it'll just be a regular shot once you do charge it, but yes. Once you run out of dark ammunition, that's what you do. You have to use a charge shot in order to do a regular shot, so that's how it works. So it's more beneficial to have ammunition, but you technically don't need ammunition to fire it, but you have to charge it up in order to do a single shot at that point. Okay, now that I've redundantly explained that, let's get rid of these inglets in here, because these are just kind of a nuisance. A nuisance. Sounds like a female noose if the noose had a gender. What the hell, dude? Okay, that room right there is very helpful, but we can't get to it yet, because, yeah. White door. Can't access white doors yet. What are you thinking? And also, not only that, but this is deactivate a light portal. And, need light energy to activate it, so, yeah, once again, another roadblock. We're kind of stuck in, we're actually literally stuck in Dark Aether at this point until we get what we need to, counteract the effects of dark energy of sorts. At this point, it's probably blatantly obvious what we're headed for, actually. Okay, so here we have the... Did I get the... Okay, so I need to get the dark glyph crystal, and I'll get that by changing this light glyph crystal to a dark glyph crystal. There we go. Yeah, a lot of the research entries are like this, where you have to either scan a dark version of it or a light version of it. It's just, there's a lot of that with the logbook in this game. So I'll just be sure to memorize like every single one that there is, or just remember it's from past playthroughs, and then we should be good. I should have no problem getting everything. Thankfully, there's a save station here where there's a save station in Light Aether, just like usual. I should also point out that there are no maps for dark regions. You have to fill out the map as you go by yourself, essentially. The maps that you get are only for the, just plain Aether. But you can obviously infer that, the maps for Dark Aether will generally correspond with the regular Aether maps. Again, I'll try to say Light Aether, even though Light Aether doesn't exist. It's just how I refer to regular Aether, essentially. Okay, now there's going to be an enemy here real soon that you can only scan once, and I believe it's in the next room, but don't quote me on that. But it's definitely coming up real soon. I'll point it out as we get to it. There'll be other enemies like that too. Obviously avoid Phazon. You're not in your Phazon suit anymore, because, Metroid Prime stole it from you and they became Dark Samus, so... Yeah, as if the toxic effects of Dark Aether were enough, Phazon also will do quite a number on your suit. Goes without saying. Okay, now this room right here. This is the Phazon site. Interesting room. Now, this is the first instance of one of these gray doors. These gray doors we're not going to have access to until towards the end of the game. Yeah. Very late beam to get. That'll be basically, well, sort of the, yeah, basically sort of the equivalent to the plasma beam, but not exactly. That's just not a very accurate way to describe it. But anyways, we got right here. This is the first of 3 scan terminals we have to access in order to advance the next room. So yeah, stuff like this. I'm surprised those aren't in here. Yeah, there's certain enemies I expect to be in here, but I guess there aren't yet until later. I guess so. Well, either way, let's get through this room and then we'll end off this episode because yeah, we're already up to 20 minutes there. I see that timer. Don't think I'm gonna forget like that one time earlier in this LP and end up with a 28-minute episode. Okay, there we go. Now, even though I know where all these scan terminals are, I can't just scan them from afar because the game, the developers knew you would try to do that sort of thing. So basically, it doesn't work if you're like a certain distance away. Like, watch this. Yeah, so you have to get close enough in order to scan it. The developers thought of everything. They're good. They're very good. All right, there we go. Get through that door and end off the episode. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Ah, that hurts. So much it hurts. Ah. Okay. Alright, folks. Next time on Metroid Prime Trilogy, we're going to get the third and last key of Dark Agon Wastes and head on over to the Dark Agon Temple. See you folks then. Later. Love you all.